Welcome to Lex's World. I've done a good number of growing tips over the years for current growers, but the question most non-growers have is, what's the first step? How do you even get started growing with so much info to learn? Well, today I'll give you your first two steps. Number one, determining whether you have a proper grow space available, and number two, your reading material. There's far too many people who start growing cannabis without completing these first steps, and as a result, they cost themselves incredible amounts of time and money, and usually don't even have a harvest at the end to show for it. So first, what's a proper grow space? If you're going to grow outdoors, that means you need about 6 months of warm weather ahead and a sunny, secure location that you have the right to grow in. You also need a convenient water supply nearby and factor into your location that you have to go there regularly. For indoor growers, the right space is any clean, carpetless room with a couple of free electrical outlets. The room must be one that is going to, at minimum, have a way to vent air out. Airflow is very important for reasons that you'll discover as you go along. Can you grow inside of a closet that has no ventilation? Yes, people have done it, but the quality of the final product will reflect that airflow problem. Finally, the indoor space must have a water supply, and life gets a whole lot easier if there's convenient drainage. Combine all of these, and for most people, this all means a basement room with a window that's not far from where the flow or drain is. Once you have a space that works, it's time for step 2, studying. The internet has all of the information you need to learn, but it's often disorganized and out of order. There's mixed messages, forums are only semi-reliable, referencing what you need on the go is really tough, and even I can't teach all the basics with short videos. My videos are more about improving on the basic knowledge that's already there. So my advice is go old school and get a good book to easily learn and reference everything you need. As you read the book, make a list of equipment to buy on a piece of paper. So let's look at some different books for some different difficulty levels. Now, I have the freedom to recommend any book by any author, but all of these are all written by Jorge Cervantes, also known by his real name, George Van Patten. I've talked about him in my Top 5 Activists video. I recommend you pick up one of his cannabis horticulture books because he is the king of writing them since 1983. So right here is Marijuana Grow Basics, and as the title suggests, it only gives the basics. This is for most of you casual, I just want to try this out growers. This is the book that will give you germination, vegetative phase, flowering phase, and building a grow room, all with pictures and illustrations, and all in a couple hundred pages. You can actually get through reading this in a couple days. I'll link to it in the description. The next book is this fellow, the Marijuana Horticulture Medical Grow Bible. My very old worn copy of it. It's a solid, very comprehensive guide with a lot more of the science and case studies included. It gets technical very early on though and may confuse a first-timer. For years and several editions, this was the definitive book for growers. The only problem with it, it's a bit dated, so there's not much mention of LEDs or plasma lighting. For something very up-to-date that includes those, I recommend the most hardcore book of the bunch. This right here, this almost 600-page monster, is the Cannabis Encyclopedia. It was published in 2015 and will probably stay relevant for even longer than the Bible did. There's nothing this doesn't talk about, including everything from the Bible, just with better pictures. Plus stuff like cooking guides and concentrate overviews. It's not just about growing, it's about cannabis in general. I originally saw this book when I met Cervantes in 2015 at the Cannabis Cup, and I just had to have it. Again, I'll link to this one in the description. Once you've completed the first two steps, figuring out if you have a proper room and reading a good horticulture textbook, you will know what to do next. In fact, you're going to have a whole to-do list on your hands. Good luck with your growing. With a good start, I'm sure you'll love it. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to subscribe, hit that like button. See you guys.